Hey everyone! Today, we're talking about something really important in Jesus' teachings, the kingdom of God. This idea wasn't new back then. Many ancient nations believed their gods were their kings, and the Jewish people also saw God as their ruler. But interestingly, the exact phrase, kingdom of God, doesn't show up in the Jewish scriptures. It's mostly found in later writings, like the Book of Wisdom and the New Testament. The Bible talks about God as a king in books like Psalms, Isaiah, Daniel, and Exodus. But God's kingdom isn't just about Him ruling, it's about something much bigger. People believe that one day, God would step in, change the world, and bring a new era where He directly ruled over everything. This idea fits in with apocalyptic literature, which is all about big world-changing events. Between the Old and New Testament, there were other writings called the pseudepigrapha that mentioned God's kingdom. However, the topic wasn't a big deal in other ancient Jewish texts like the Dead Sea Scrolls. When Jesus talked about the kingdom of God, He did it in a different way. Before Him, people thought of it as something that would happen in the future. But Jesus said it was both coming soon and already here. Theologians call this realized eschatology. Most of the time, when Jesus spoke about the kingdom of God, He meant something that was still on the way, like when He prayed, "May your kingdom come," but sometimes He said the kingdom was already present, like through His preaching and miracles. One famous quote from Jesus is, "The kingdom is in your midst." He didn't mean that it was something hidden inside people, like a mystical experience. Instead, He meant that the kingdom was visible through acts of faith and God's power at work in the world. The Gospel of John talks about this idea in a strong way. John doesn't use the term kingdom of God as much as the other Gospels, but he still shows what it means. When Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life," He was saying that everything about God's kingdom was present in Him. His presence proved that the kingdom was real, and it continued through those who believed in Him, like the early church. Some scholars have debated whether John's version of Jesus' teachings was exactly what Jesus said, or more of an interpretation. But a simple way to understand the kingdom of God is to think of it as the reign of God. It's not about a physical place, it's about God working in the world. This kingdom is seen through faith and miracles, moments when God's power is clear. While Jesus said the kingdom had already begun, it was still something to look forward to in the future. Over time, Christians started connecting the kingdom of God with heaven. Later on, different people had different ideas about what this meant. A church leader named Eusebius believed that the kingdom of God was actually tied to politics and was fulfilled through Emperor Constantine the Great. This led to the belief that the emperor was both a political and religious leader, an idea called Caesaropapacy. This concept shaped powerful empires like the Byzantine Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, and even the Russian idea of a Third Rome. It also influenced some religious military groups during the Crusades. So the kingdom of God wasn't just a small part of what Jesus taught. It was the main message. At first, it was about God taking control and bringing change. Over time, it became a strong belief that shaped Christianity for centuries. Whether people saw it as a spiritual truth, a future hope, or even a political idea, one thing is clear. Jesus' teachings about the kingdom of God changed the way people understood faith, history, and the world itself.